your time today.
Oh, brilliant.
The movie is quite hard-hitting but comedic at the same time. How did you set the tone to get that right?
Actually, like, I wanted to put in a lot of humor. I don't know if... that's the one thing where when I first read it, I thought that it was a difficult script to do, you know, because you have to have that real brotherhood. And then also the dialogue was pretty challenging, but I tried to find the humor in it. And also the fact that you're wearing a uniform talking about these kind of things was kind of comical as well. And you know, at the first table read, a lot of people are laughing when you're like, oh, okay, thank God. It's working out. Because if it didn't work at the table read, I think I would have dropped all the things that I was trying to do. But I was, you know, after rehearsing for 5 months, like, you're pretty confident that, you know, that it could work to some level. I didn't know that it was going to work to be honest. I didn't know that it was going to work that well. And it's always kind of funny. It's almost like you feel fortunate when audiences really do like your movie. Because, you know, why would they like this movie more than that movie? Like, you never know. But the audiences seem to like it, so I'm stoked.
No, great. And your interaction with Jake is just brilliant. It's some of my favourite scenes in the movie are when you and he are in the car just bouncing off one another. Was that quite ad-libbed or was that all scripted?
That's all scripted. You know, we rehearsed it like 100 times each. You know, each scene, like sometimes more than 100. You know, like for me, the beginning scene was very, very tough. When I said, you know, getting back to work or whatever, and it's something that we. It's funny that you said that that's your favorite scenes. I thought the favorite scenes, you know, people's favorite scenes were going to be, you know, the shoot 'em up. And
I did like them as well, but I just thought it was really well, and you wouldn't know that it was rehearsed over and over because it's so natural, the comedy that you get from one another. Yeah,
and well, it did help that we rehearsed so much, and it doesn't. Sometimes you don't do that. Sometimes you're just trying to, whatever your instinct gives you that day, but we rehearsed so much that it was it was just like something that we were doing on the day, and like it'd be different, like, and we kept on trying different ways, and he, like, I really respect him as an actor because, you know, he can roll with the punches, and that's something that I mean, it's kind of actor geeky, whatever, but you want to be in the moment and, like, you know, try to mess with each other, and he was down for it, you know. We're trying to create something cool, I guess.
No, and you did. Did you get to go out with real cops just to try and get a sense of how real life is?
Yeah, oh yeah. The real cops. Wow, real cops. They go through a lot, you know what I mean? They you know, even though they have a badge and a gun, it's still pretty dangerous out there, you know, and they're outnumbered all the time. And there was one moment I remember in particular where, like, we pulled over these 5 guys and they told us to stay back, and there was a crowd, you know, forming, and they pulled out guns and drugs, and, you know, they all got in the back, and the crowd started going crazy, you know, and, you know, telling us to go home, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So, and they didn't care that Jake was like this huge movie star, you know, because they didn't really know, but I looked at Jake and I was like, all right. And that was like the signal of, like, if it's going to go down, we're going to go down fighting, dude. And that definitely helped the bond, and I think hopefully it helped the movie as well.
The Handycam shots that are shot in the movie, we see little cameras get put on you in the film. Did those really happen, or was that all just movie magic?
No, it did happen, because there's no way to really go like this and to have all your arms into the shot, you know, with the camera. It'd have to be really weird. But, you know, we kept on shooting, and also it's good to. We had like this camera that's, you know, we had like a shell on the torso, camera, monitor, battery pack, and I felt like RoboCop, you know, the Mexican RoboCop, and it's an interesting point of view because it shows you the way that, you know, a police officer really does feel, and, you know, it almost like the little video game kind of thing, but then you see it in the movie and you're like, wow, it really does make sense, you know, it's to see how. You know, how you're supposed to shoot somebody, and it adds to the movie, so I'm glad about that as well.
Yeah, it worked really well. Your IMDb profile is filling up by the year of amazing films. What is it that you look for in a film before you take on a role?
Oh, for sure, first is the script, because it's regardless of what it is, it's like it's got to be a good script. It's got to you want to be involved in like a good story. You know, like if you go out with your buddies and you get, you know, hammered or whatever. you know, and you guys do a lot of really cool stuff on Monday morning at work. You know what I mean? You want it to be cool, but if nothing really happened, like, who's gonna say, "Wow, this guy got drunk and fell asleep"? Then the story sucks, you know.
Yeah.
So you want to be first involved with a good story, and then good director, and then good actors as well, and good producers.
Absolutely. I need to wrap up. What's the next thing that you've got coming up?
I got 2 things next year. I got one that's called Gangster Squad, Ryan Gosling, Josh Brolin, and Sean Penn. And then that's a big shoot 'em up kind of movie in January. And then in the middle of next year is this movie called Chavez. And I was fortunate to play this guy, Cesar Chavez, who led the largest nonviolent movement in America. And but that's going to come out next year.
Cool, I look forward to that. Thank you so much for your
Right
time
on,
today.
man.
Great to meet
Thank you much,
Thank
man.
you.